What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, more news has come out, or details rather, about the shooting that occurred out there in Chicago, Illinois today on July 4th in the early hours of the morning, in which 2 women have been killed and 3 children were injured, critically injured, and are in the hospital fighting for their lives right now. Earlier, I did a video where I showed you guys a press conference and what was said. Now, the victims have been identified, and they are the 2 victims who died have been identified. They're 42-year-old Lakeisha Strong, who was the homeowner, and her 22-year-old niece. Her name is Capri Edwards. May they rest in peace. Guys, this is a tragedy, nothing short of it. And some of the stuff you'll hear, it leads me to believe this thing was personal. I mean, it was targeted. We already know that. Why? Maybe the details will come out. But another thing that's wild about this is her son was visiting home from college. He was in the basement when the shooting happened. And he came up and he tells this side of the story of what he saw. So take a look at this tragedy, man. Sickening.
Mass shooting on Chicago's South Side. 2 women killed and 2 children critically injured. Tia has been in the neighborhood talking to investigators and neighbors. Tia, what do we know about the victims?
We're outside of Comer Children's Hospital right now, Sylvia. What I can tell you is July 4th will never be the same moving forward for this family. This is definitely a time where families get together and they celebrate. But sadly now, this family is planning for 2 funerals. We know a woman in her 20s is now dead. Her aunt in her 40s is now dead. And 2 of her children are here at Comer Children's Hospital fighting for their lives. A 3rd child, age 8 years old, is also fighting for his life. He's related to this family, and as of right now, what we know is this all started with just a knock on their front door.
I honestly can't even tell you what I thought was going on.
Frank Mixon was home visiting from college when he woke up to gunfire.
I just woke up, went upstairs, and I just saw a massacre of everything, you know. So it was very vivid for the mind for me to just see everything. It was crazy.
His mother, Lakeisha Strong, in her 40s, was killed. Mixon says she worked hard. She was an employee of FedEx.
My mom, like, such an amazing woman. No one ever showed me how to go get in and work hard like her. Working day and night, take care of kids who weren't hers.
Described as the person in the family that would get everyone together here at her home in the 7100 block of Woodlawn. A neighbor reported seeing men knocking on the door at around 6:15 Thursday morning. Those knocks turned into gunfire.
2 vehicles pulled up into the area. Multiple subjects exited those vehicles and fired at this residence. Multiple shell casings were recovered from both a rifle and a handgun at the scene.
Chicago police tell us also killed was a woman in her 20s. The family says her name is Capri Edwards, described as Strong's niece by family. She shielded her 1-year-old child. That child is now safe. Her 5- and 7-year-old sons are here at Comer in critical condition. Their cousin, an 8-year-old, was also shot and is in critical condition. The people responsible for this shooting have not been tracked down. As for Mixon, he was surrounded by his high school coaches. The now college basketball player says his mother would want him to stay focused and keep going.
What kills me the most, just like, we was just together like 2 or 3 days ago talking about me going to another school or whatnot for basketball on another scholarship as well. While my mom was here, she just gonna tell me the same thing, like, take it on the chin, keep going. Like, my mom was one of the most wonderful women you could ever meet in your life. Definitely the love of my life for sure.
So again, you heard Mixon's story that he was in the house when all of this unfolded. Luckily, he was able to walk away from this, but tragically, several of his family members were shot. 2 of them, as we've reported, now dead, including his mother. As for what Chicago police are doing right now, they are still scouring that neighborhood, looking for surveillance video. They say 2 vehicles are involved in all of this. They're hoping to give us an update here shortly to let us know a little bit more information. But as of right now, if you know anything about this crime, you can submit an anonymous tip by going to cpdtip.com. TiaEwing.com. Live from outside of Comer Children's Hospital, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
That's the news so far. The identity of the two victims, 42-year-old Nikisha Strong and 22-year-old Capri Edwards. One is mother, homeowner, and the niece. May they rest in peace. Let's pray that these other three children make it. They said the 8-year-old was a relative that was just over there. Chain reaction of effect, the pain that inflicts on people that wasn't even at the scene. The son was downstairs and heard the commotion and came upstairs to find his mother and siblings laid out there like that. Think about that. Nobody thinks about this when they pull these triggers and turn these vendettas into, permanent dirt naps for people. What could have been so bad where you had to kill a woman in front of her children? He said Capri Edwards, the 22-year-old, was shielding a 1-year-old. That's how she got shot. Think about that. Somebody came in the house, shot the women, and shot the children. Now I'm going to say something real fast. All of this stuff you heard in here, it kind of contradicted the press conference this morning. Because if the guy was there, the son was there, and he told the police what happened, where did they get all of this other stuff they was talking about? Where they said people got out the car and shot the front of the house up. For them to shoot inside the house, they just said they knocked on the door. Because I was saying in my head, I'm like, how do little kids get shot? If they're shooting the front of the house up, how do little kids get shot if they're in their beds and it's 6-something in the morning? The way them kids had to be shot, it was either they ran in there and ran in the room, or like they was all sleeping in the front room and then got shot, but they would have had to come in the house. This says they came in the house or came to the door. Think about that. Another thing is this. I wonder what it was about, because 2 carloads of people came, not 1. 2 carloads. So I don't know what was done. I don't even know if Nikisha Strong was the intended target. But it's 3 children hurt, 2 women dead, and everybody searching for answers. What kind of person you got to be to go and shoot a house full of women and children up? Think about that. Then run off. Do it early in the morning. Neighbors are sleeping. You turn the damn block into a war zone. Something to think about. This guy had to come upstairs and find his mother sprawled out, dead on the floor, and children hurt and everything else. And think about that. That's a lot of overload when your senses. And it just happened this morning. This guy right here seemed like he was a good kid. He was in college talking about going to another school for a scholarship. And he said, yo, my mom would want me to keep going. I mean, he showed incredible strength out there, because I ain't gonna lie, that was my people. And I wouldn't be in front of no camera. So, I mean, it says a lot about his strength, type of person he is, man. I feel sorry for him, and I feel sorry for his siblings, man. The ones that's in the hospital and the ones that wasn't there, if there are any. But I mean, this type of stuff, people that get so turned up and angry at a situation, no matter who you mad at, it's like whoever's there feels the wrath as well. This indiscriminate violence against each other, man, is crazy. It's wild. And if you cannot tell me, like I said before, there's not vitriol and hate among people in the Black community. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's a goddamn shame. They should be celebrating the 4th of July like everybody else. Some people don't see it that way. See you in the next video. Take care. Another thing is this. Let me say this. Every time stuff like this happens where mothers are getting wiped off the earth, it has a detrimental effect on future generations. If these kids survive, their mother's gone. Their mother's gone. What type of impact you think that has? These kids are still young. They're still in the bonding phase with their mother. And to have her taken away from them is a devastating blow. Seriously, that's a devastating blow. And that affects future generations of people that, look like me. That's why I talk about stuff like this on my channel. People don't think about that. You just think about the person's dead, and then, man, it's messed up. That person dead. It has a ripple effect all the way across the pond from past and present generations. A lot of the hate that we see building is the hate that we created. For real. When you look at the Iraqi war and all this other stuff, them people getting bombed, them people fighting back and all this other stuff, you create martyrs and you create enemies. Same thing in the black community. Anytime you kill somebody, you kill more than that person. You kill other people that cared about that person. Then their hatred with people that do the same thing that you do or you yourself spreads. I just wanted to add that. Thanks for listening.